How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We are looking at Workhorse again today, and I wanted to talk about this because the stock is up over 10% right now at the beginning of the market, and it might change a little bit by the time you see this. There's definitely some high volatility right now, but I wanted to cover why it's up right now, some secured funding that they got to expand future operations, and then just kind of take a look at everything that's been happening over the last few days and the last few weeks with Workhorse, because we've gotten more and more signs that there are good things coming. So if you guys like this kind of thing, please hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want to, there is a link down to WeBull. There are just 3 days left on their promotion right now for 2 free stocks if you deposit $100. If you do that, you get up to $1,600 for each stock and at least $8 for each stock. So definitely a good little deal that they have there. So let's take a look at Workhorse today. They were up in the pre-market, and then pretty much as soon as we opened, it shot up. And you can see here, it's actually come down even since a minute ago when I was talking about how it was up 10%. It's down to about $29 now. It's up 8% on the day. A lot of people probably had sell-offs at $30. They had sell orders. So it's definitely something where there's going to be some volatility over the next few days. A lot of people think the contract's coming up in the next day or two. So a lot of people are taking profits. A lot of people are buying in, trying to get in on that before the contract is announced. It's going to be crazy. We could even be negative by the time you see this. Who knows? But I do want to cover the thing that happened today in the pre-market that is quite interesting. So I woke up to this, and it is that Workhorse secured $200 million in financing from institutional lenders. So these are senior secured convertible notes due in 2024. So they got $200 million worth of funding. But essentially, these notes are at 4%. They're paying quarterly, and it can be reduced to 2.75 if they meet certain conditions. So definitely some pretty good financing. They're using this for a couple different things, and I'll show you here the CEO comments on it. With this financing in place, we can more quickly advance our production efforts heading into 2021 by increasing our supply chain component volumes, hiring more manufacturing employees, and automating certain sub-assembly processes. We can also accelerate our production timeline for new high-demand customer products, including a refrigeration truck for grocery applications, as well as purpose-built Class 2 delivery vans, allowing us to address one of the fastest-growing vehicle markets in the U.S. The new vehicles within our portfolio of products, along with the expanding operations of our drone business, will help to further solidify our leadership and reach in the last-mile EV delivery segment. So this is quite interesting because here they say that they want a Class 2 delivery van. Now, if you know about this, that means that they are trucks between about 6,000 and 10,000 pounds, and this is with their most weight that they can carry essentially. And Workhorse right now has trucks that are about 12,500. So this is not what they're in right now. They're in Class 3. But if you look on, this is a government website here, you can see here that most Class 2 are just passenger cars. So they're talking about a smaller delivery van than what they're already looking at. That's kind of interesting. That is something that, I think is going to be interesting to see how it materializes and what kind of that looks like, because this is a pretty small vehicle when you think motorcycles are Class 1, cars are Class 2, and then as you move up, these are larger pickup trucks and delivery vans. It's interesting to see. So that will be something that we have to kind of stay watching. I don't know exactly what kind of role that would play, but they're also talking about refrigeration too. So it's quite interesting. When you think about why they would need $200 million, right? First of all, they got pretty good terms on this. I mean, 4% isn't bad, especially if it bumps down to 2.75. But this is quite interesting because, first of all, they're replacing some of their older high interest rate debt, but then they're also going to use this to help expand. Why would they need to expand if they don't have, a lot of clients? Of course, they could use this for R&D and building up manufacturing, even if they didn't get the USPS contract. But I don't know. I don't think a lot of companies would lend $200 million to a company like this that has no value unless they have some kind of contract. I mean, their book value isn't that high right now. It's probably not at 200 million, except for the fact that they do own some Lordstown Motors stock. Let's be honest, they own a tenth of the company, but then their own products, their own assets aren't super high. Besides that, so I think that the company probably has some good news in front of them, at least getting part of the contract, because they did get a large amount of money here. Now, I think this is going to be really good for them going forward. They had that deal with Hitachi to hopefully grow and expand their manufacturing and their efficiency. They also are just looking at maybe using Lordstown too, but if they can build up their own processes so that way they can take more of the money into their own hands and they don't have to farm out as much of their business, I think that's going to be good for them. Now, of course, there are some other things that we've been covering recently too, right? So we talked about here how the CHARGE Act was signed. So the government's trying to make it easier for government employees to use electric vehicles. As we go along here, Romeo Technologies used their picture several times and talked about them in relation to the USPS and showed their vehicle, the Workhorse vehicle, in their new presentation for their investors. They also talked about how USPS was electrifying their fleet, and Workhorse is the only electric vehicle out there that's still in the running. So that's interesting too. We also talked about how the USPS needed to act fast because their vehicles are literally on fire. So, with all this different stuff coming in, with ARK Invest continuing to buy, with another person, another big name company, another hedge fund talking about the bullish thesis on Workhorse, saying that's $33 a share, and them also saying that, 90 days ago, they submitted the next generation vehicle. Proposals were due on July 14, so 90 days after that, it's October 13. At that time, they had said that they would make the decision within 90 days. Now, of course, we don't know if that will happen with everything that's going on right now. I could see that being pushed back. They've said since then that it would be by the end of the year, so we're still not really sure, but the fact that they got this financing, the fact that they are looking into expanding into refrigeration and these Class 2 trucks too, that's quite amazing, and I think that that's going to be really good for them going forward. It's going to be a wild ride, but I am still holding on to my shares. I'm not buying more right now. I feel comfortable. I actually just bought some shares of Virgin Galactic, so if you guys want to see why I'm really excited about Virgin Galactic, you can check out the video here, and I talked about it yesterday, why I'm really bullish on it, even though it's highly speculative. If you guys want to hear what I'm buying real time, you can join our Patreon down below. You can pay just a few dollars a month and you get access to our Discord and you get access to my buys and sells in real time. But otherwise, if you guys just want those 2 free stocks, I totally get it. You can check out the link below to WeBull, like I said. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching and hitting the like button and subscribing if you haven't already hit subscribe. So thank you guys. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.